Hello, welcome to your eclipse reading for August 2017. Normally I do the monthly forecast videos separate from and in addition to the eclipse forecast videos, but I decided to combine the month of August readings with the eclipse readings, so I'll be making 12 videos instead of 24 this month. I'm recording these a week into August already. We just had the full moon lunar eclipse on the 7th, which was exact at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a very active month astrologically, so I would really be surprised if things were fairly quiet and uneventful in our lives throughout August. Aside from the eclipses, we have Mercury going retrograde on Saturday the 12th, which is sandwiched in between the eclipses as the featured planetary energy. We also have Saturn going direct on the 25th at 5:09 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is an important time for destined and fated events to occur because it is the karmic nodes that cause the eclipses twice a year, whenever we have a full or new moon near these points. The new moon solar eclipse occurs on Monday, August 21st at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in Magha Nakshatra within the Leo constellation at 4 degrees 46 minutes using the sidereal zodiac. Even if you are using tropical coordinates, it is still occurring in the sign of Leo at 28 degrees 52 minutes. I'll be doing something a little different for the eclipse readings. For the solar eclipse, I will roll these astrological dice and cast a quick chart sketch to interpret how its energy will most likely be affecting your sign. Then I will draw from the Karma Cards deck and similarly interpret its energy for the month in general. And lastly, I will draw a couple of tarot cards for any additional messages about the eclipse and the essence of August. So let's go ahead and get started with your readings. Taurus, let's see what the eclipse energy is going to be like for you for the month of August from the Astro Dice. Okay, so we've got the sun in Taurus in the second house. Okay, so using a natural chart with Aries as the ascendant or the rising sign, Taurus is the second house. Okay, so you have Taurus in the second house. This is the natural rulership. So there's something very personal to do with this, and it's also about the self. Since you have the sun is the self. It's the soul. Okay, the sun came up for the Aries reading as well, so I found this to be really interesting that the sun obviously is the main player in the solar eclipse, since the solar eclipse is the new moon, where the moon and the sun are together. The moon is in front of the sun from the Earth's perspective, and it sort of passes in front of the sun. It blots out the sun for that transit. Okay, so again, the solar energy, the solar eclipse here is very much coming up within the Astro Dice, showing that energy. So we're going to just cast a chart here, and I've already sort of drawn the outlines for it. So here we have the second house down here, and you have the sun here. Okay, again, this is Taurus, since we have sun in Taurus in the second house. Second house, Taurus, the sun is here. It's the natural chart. We have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So the sun rules Leo, okay? It's the planetary ruler of Leo. And it's in the 5th house here. So you have the 1st and the 5th house. Okay. Just for illustration purposes, so you can really see that. Got the 2nd and the ruler of the 5th in the 2nd. So the 2nd and the 5th house. So the 2nd house is the house of values. It's your possessions. It's what you own. It's also family. It can be the house. It can be your family. That's usually what people value is family, and they value security, right? What comes with security? A place to live, right? And it's a very, Taurus is a very sensual sign. It's everything to do with the senses, what you can touch, smell, hear, see, all of that. So everything in your environment around you, that you're sort of getting this sort of information into your body, into your senses, okay? It can be very tactile. And you have the 5th house of romance, play, children, fun, dating, that sort of thing, enjoyment, recreation, creativity. Okay, what do we create? Oftentimes we create people, or we create projects that are close to our heart. And this is definitely, the solar eclipse is going to impact the Taurus energy. Now, whether it's your sun, your moon, or your rising sign in Taurus, it's just that if you identify with the Taurus energy, this reading is for you. It's going to impact your values, your security when it comes to children, play, romance, all of that sort of thing here. So this is sort of just a quick sketch on what the astro dice are saying, how it's going to affect you and your life. And I wanted to create a visual for you because sometimes it's kind of hard without a chart to see, just what the dice are saying. So I wanted to go ahead and use these astro themed cards here from the Karma Cards deck to get an idea of how the month in general of August is going to be for the Tauruses, the Taurus energy. So I'll just do a quick shuffle here. What planet is going to be the most planetary energy? Of Mars. Wow, that's a very masculine energy. Okay, if it's not males in general, it's, Mars is about your energy, it's your willpower, it's your drive, it's determination, it's focus, okay? And sometimes it can be aggressive, but depending on how it's used, it could also be assertive. Okay, but it just has this very laser-like focus, determination to go after what it wants. Okay, it's also it's very masculine because you hear women are from Mars, or men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's the male genitalia is the symbol for Mars. And Cancer. Mars in Cancer. Cancer is also has an element of security as well. This is domestic. This is your even national security. The home, the homeland, where you grew up, things like that, where you call home. There's a sense of like maybe an agitated energy. Mars doesn't really do well in Cancer. Cancer is really about your feelings. Mars is what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. And, sometimes if you don't feel like doing something, you don't do it. So it's sort of like waters down that fiery element of Mars. So what you accomplish this month of August may be based upon your feelings at that moment, and feelings can change. So looks like there could be some sort of, as far as like energy levels, could be like high energy at sometimes, low energy at sometimes, and that could be an effect of this eclipse energy. Okay. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing what you thought you were going to set out to do. 12th house. So 12th house is a house of isolation. Okay, it's wanting to be alone. It's a very spiritual house where everything is sort of melding into each other. It's a house of loss, and it's also a house of death, letting go. But it's really just non-attachment to the world, you know, worldly things. It's sort of this elevated like sense of purpose in a spiritual sense. Okay, now when you notice that there are two sides to these cards, the orange side is the external. It's what you can see out there. It's the dynamic, active principle. The blue is the internal. It's within you. It's the introverted part, okay? You have all active, dynamic, outward, expressive sort of energy colors here. So it may be happening around you, okay? Other people could be challenging your feelings, and you may want to sort of actively seek out seclusion. And it's also, I feel like you're going to be really affected by other people's moods, other people's emotions. They might irritate you in some way, where it's like you want to sort of seek solace here, privacy as well. Okay, so the phrases that come across here, that's really what I also wanted to sort of jot down. So I can move these over and create a little bit more space. Okay, so let's use this orange color. So the first line is spirituality. The second line is the mental plane. The third line is the physical plane. It has S, M, and P, spiritual, mental, and physical. So it's sort of the mind, body, soul aspect. Okay, so the spiritual plane says energize your feelings, seeking oneness with all there is. Okay, I get the feeling of like unifying any sort of division or divisiveness between you and other people. Can be, you know, your family, can be your lover, and it kind of has a sense of it's very close to your heart. People that are close to your heart, so maybe not so much your friends or your coworkers or things like that, but just like people that you truly love, energizing your feelings and finding some sort of oneness, some sort of commonality in sort of this turbulent time. Okay, it could be that's the spiritual aspect of what you might be wanting to create. So let's just write that down here. Energize your feelings. I feel like other people are going to make you very aware of your own feelings. Okay, there's people that are gonna be a mirror, hold up a mirror for you, because again, the orange is other people. Okay, so they're having an effect on your feelings. They may sort of energize. I guess that's another way of saying charged, right? So you could have very charged feelings right now, having to do with your security. Again, things that people, family that's close to your heart, children, things like that. Since the fifth house, second house, energize your feelings. Let's see. Let's just say to seek oneness. And I feel like this oneness is like, another word for that would be commonality. Okay, or something that's whole, integrated. Okay, on the mental plane, you have confrontation, confront, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. Like I said, with Mars, it can be very aggressive or it can be assertive. It could stand up for itself and its boundaries, or it can just go sort of, you know, run over other people's feelings as well. with being too aggressive or even violent sometimes. But if this is what you're seeking, this 12th house sort of passivity, sort of oneness, this isn't going to be so much challenging other people. It's like, what is the common ground? We may not agree, but where can we agree? Let's focus on that. So confront attitudes from the past. And I feel like the word that I'm also hearing is conditioning. How were you conditioned? How are other people conditioned to think, since it's the mental plane? So confront your thoughts about how you're conditioned. Keep your involvement hidden. I feel like, again, this is sort of like being actively passive here. So passive aggressive things could sort of come up in that way. It's sort of like if you don't want to deal with it, or you don't know how to deal with it in a healthy way, the universe is going to present some ways for you to sort of figure that out. How do you deal with confrontation in a healthy way, without, the fight or the flight? Can you find some sort of agreement, some sort of harmony? Okay. Let's see. Hidden, and keep your involvement hidden. Confront attitudes from the past. And let's just put / withdraw. I already sort of went over what I interpret that to mean. So on the physical plane, force yourself to use your intuition. Pardon me. I jumped to the third line. So confront attitudes from the past about philanthropy. Philanthropic events. How do you give back? This is what charity. Okay. Confront attitudes about the past. This to me feels like helping others, or how other people help you, in a sense. What is good for the common? It has sort of the same theme of like, what is good for everybody here, which is that sort of negotiation, commonality, again, is what I keep getting from that. But anyway, you can make of it what you want. I'm going to move on here to the physical. Force yourself to use your intuition. Now, why would you need to force yourself to use your intuition? Have you not been using your intuition? Have you been getting sort of messages, spiritual messages, and discounting them, discrediting them, dismissing them in some way? So August is really asking you to sort of dive deep and actively use your psychic abilities, actively use your intuition, your knowingness. And the 12th house is kind of like a house of mystery. It comes from the other side. So these messages that you receive, don't discredit them. Now, how do we use that on a physical sense? What you sense in your body. What is your body telling you? Do you get a gut feeling or a gut reaction and then dismiss it with your mind? Okay. I definitely get the sense that your body is speaking to you, and now is really the time to really pay attention to those messages. It's going to, it's really going to come up like in the stomach. Cancer rules the stomach. It also rules the breasts. But that sort of gut feeling that you have to listen to it this month. It's very important. Keep your involvement hidden. It's not always important to engage with other people in debates. Okay. I'm going to still use that withdrawal. withdraw. Okay, so this was somewhat of an experiment. I hope it was helpful to you. And I normally just do the cards, but I thought it would be fun to sort of use this different sort of deck here for your messages, as well as using these astro dice. But I am going to use the cards and sort of tie in the messages from the chart, from the astro cards here, using the Wild Unknown Tarot. So I'm going to pull one card for the eclipse energy, how that's going to be affecting Taurus, and one card for the month of August in its entirety. Show me the card for how the eclipse is going to affect Taurus. The High Priestess. Gorgeous. Now it's interesting that there is a tiger here. Looks like a tiger. The tiger is close to, you know, it's the feline. The lion, which is Leo here. It's coming up in the 5th house. So I see the connection here with this eclipse reading. The High Priestess is also about withdrawal. So I am getting the elements of that 12th house that sort of showed up in the Karma cards deck, of wanting to sort of seek solace, seeking your alone time. But it's also listening to your intuition. What is your gut telling you? There's something that you can no longer deny that's sort of coming to the forefront, coming to the surface when it involves, you know, security and things that are close to your heart, okay? People that are close to your heart. Use your intuition to also be creative. I like how there's like a moon here and then like a full sphere. It kind of looks like that eclipse sort of energy as well. And you have the 2. The High Priestess is the 2nd major arcana, which illuminates the 2nd house, your values. I see the symbolism as being very much aligned with this chart sketch here. Let's see what else I can get. Let's see, show me the card for the month of August in its entirety. Everything is connected. Everything. The web, everything is connected. You have the 8 of Pentacles, okay? Something that you are working on, something that you are creating for your self-development, okay? And there's oneness, knowing that you and everyone are all in, there's unity. Now, whether or not, you know, you come from different beliefs, different backgrounds, it's not fragmented as it seems. You always have something in common. Focus on that. There's real magic in finding the commonality between you and someone that are not seeing eye to eye for the sake of harmony. Taurus loves harmony. It's ruled by Venus, which is about beauty. It's about harmony. It's about relationships, keeping the peace, right? And not a piece of the picture, but everything whole, okay? And I'm just getting the sense that everything is connected here. What else am I seeing for this? I feel like there's another message that wants to come through. I really get the sense that there's going to be some positive shifts and positive transformations in what you're able to create when you do the inner work. This is all about the internal stuff, okay? And there's real magic. There's real shifts that can be made this month. It comes from inside. Again, that's sort of that gut feeling. And the spider that spins this web, she's creating this beautiful safety net, this beautiful home for herself. And there's a sense to want to retreat into that safety, into that beautiful home that she's created. Okay, it's sort of covering all of the areas. She's here in the center, and that is her home. It's something that she has created, something that she has spun out of herself to make beautiful and to rest on. I very much get the sense that this is that second house of like home, comfort, the things that you own, the possessions that you have some, you know, bringing in some lovely things to your home to sort of ease that harsh Mars energy. Okay. If you feel that other people are challenging you, other people are upsetting you, you can always retreat, go into your safe space, connect with your inner divine self. You don't have to engage in anything that's extreme, anything that's violent, anything that is challenging or confronting. You have this, you would always have a safe space. You always have a place to call home here. And again, that's really where the peace is. That's really where the peace of mind is. That's where the magic is. And I see that there's a lot of enjoyment in your sacred space this month. Okay. I feel like I'm getting more from the dice and the cards than I am from the messages here, but that's okay. I wanted to sort of get a variety here, and this was a little bit of an experiment, so I hope that you did enjoy this and get something out of it. If you do have any questions or comments about the reading here, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below, and I will see you in the next month's upcoming video. Take care, be well. Thank you so much for watching and liking my videos, and for subscribing to my channel. If you would like a personal reading that is custom to you and your current situation, feel free to contact me through my website, sungoddessashley.com, or via email. I will leave the links in the description box below. Thank you, and make it a great month.